Normally on these videos, we talk a lot of politics, but today I want to talk about this right here, the all-new Sig Sauer P365. Hey everybody, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. Like I said, normally talk a lot of politics here on this channel. We just had a big election here in Lubbock, and I'll get to that tomorrow. Trust me, there's a lot to talk about with what happened here in Lubbock on Saturday in the municipal election. But I wanted to do a little something different, and this time I wanted to talk about a brand new gun that I actually picked up this last week on Thursday at SS Outfitters out in Levelland. That's SS Outfitters, Sky Straightener, his place, 114, Highway 114 near Levelland. And that is this, the Sig Sauer P365. Brand new firearm that I picked up, and as you can tell, it's not loaded. I've never done one of these, gun review videos, so I wanted to go ahead and do one for you guys, and really, I'm not going to get into all the range time and everything else, just a basic review, how I felt as a radio talk show host going out to a range and shooting a gun, and then just kind of give you the basics of what I think about this gun, and in the future, other firearms that I've tested, that I've tried, and give you my thoughts, and want to hear your feedback as well. With this firearm, I know there was a lot of mixed reviews at the very beginning of the year when news of this firearm first came out, and when people started getting their hands on it. There were apparently a lot of issues with the firearm for a lot of people out there. Sig Sauer did the right thing. Looks like they shut down production for a little bit of time, corrected the issue, and now this baby is out and for everyone to pick up when they're able to actually find it. I know many people are on a wait list. Sometimes that's just how it goes when you have a very popular firearm, and there's a reason why this thing is so popular. It's because it is a great gun. Again, I took this out today to one of the local gun ranges here in town, and I was able to fire it and put about 250 rounds through it. And I have to say that it was absolutely fantastic. Now, here's a couple of things that you should know about this firearm. One, it does come with two different magazines. Now, one of the great things about these, and what is really revolutionary about the P365, is that you're going to get in what comes in the box 10 rounds in these magazines. 10 rounds, that's 10 plus 1 in the chamber, 10 rounds in here, and then you can pick up, for a little bit of extra money, you can pick up this bad boy right here, which will hold 12 rounds. Now listen, this is not a large firearm. Again, this thing is, it's clear, okay, there's no bullets in here. This thing is a small firearm. It fits in the palm of my hand. It is a very small gun. And one of the questions that I've seen play out on different videos is this the ultimate small gun? I think that kind of varies on how you feel about it and how it feels in your hand. I'm not one of those guys who believes that there is a truly perfect gun. I think everybody's different. I think everybody's grip is different. I think everybody's hand sizes are different. So whether or not it's a perfect gun for you, well, that remains to be seen. But I encourage you to check it out. Listen, I'm not, someone who loves all SIG guns or think that every SIG gun is perfect. I'm not someone who only buys SIG guns. I've got a CZ P10C. I've got Springfield XDM. I've got various other firearms. So I'm not married to just one company out there, and I think that's important to put out there. Also, it's important to say I'm not being paid for this review, because some of the reviewers, let's be honest, they're getting free guns, they're getting free stuff from these companies, so they're going to say nice things. Not me. I will say that, truly this is a gun that I purchased this past week, and that I can truly tell you is a fantastic firearm. If you are looking for something that is small, easy to conceal, you seriously need to think about this firearm right here. Now, you're going to have to wait a little bit. You're going to have to wait and see how long it's going to take to get in, but it is a good firearm for you. So let's go through, just some of the different aspects of this. Like I said, it comes with two different magazines. You've got one that is really flush with the gun, so you can tell there's nothing, no bullets that are in this. You put it in, and for me, I would probably never carry it this way because my pinky is just kind of floating floating out there. See, just kind of floating out there. Makes it very small. Makes it very small. And again, you've got 10 plus 1 in the chamber. There's nothing in the chamber right now, but you've got 10 plus 1. But again, your pinky is hanging off here, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. So I would go to the next magazine that you get in the box from Sig Sauer. It has a little extension on it. Again, completely unloaded. You place it into your firearm just like that, and now your hand rests comfortably. Comfortable. Very, very comfortable. It's a very comfortable gun. The grips are absolutely fantastic on this gun. It almost reminds me of Talon, the Talon grips a little bit, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's very, very grippy. It's not going to tear up your hand and nothing like that. I just think it's a very good grip. And in fact, the people who I went out with today to shoot with, they liked the grips as well. It's really one of the first grips that I've just out of the box absolutely loved from any of the guns that I have purchased before. They have a third option over at Sig Sauer. If you are really wanting, this is where it really gets revolutionary from Sig Sauer, is this separate magazine that you can buy. And as you can see, it holds 12 bullets. And it really does not increase the size of the gun that much. Your hand, my hand, rests perfectly on this firearm. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. If you were looking for something for me, it'll hold my hand. My hand will, it just feels good to hold. And those of you who shoot firearms, whenever you get a gun that is easy to hold, that it's great to hold, you know that feeling. And I can say this, it is a fantastic feeling. This firearm, again, unloaded, for those of you who might be concerned. It's just a great gun. It feels great. Now, for my range time, didn't shoot any video out at the range. Maybe I'll do that later as a part 2 if you're interested. But I'll say this, at the range, had no problems at all. Went through about 250 rounds or so, maybe a little bit more than that. Shot different ammo, including defensive rounds and some cheaper ammo. Flawless. Not one hiccup, not one misfire. Did not have any problems at all. No problems at all with this firearm. Now, I think one of the other great things to talk about with this firearm is the sights on it. The sights on it are absolutely fantastic. I'm going to pull it back here, and then I kind of hopefully you can see the I think there you can see the sights on this. Basically, what you're looking at, Sig Sauer calls it the X-ray sights. They're X-ray sights. Lights up real nice green when it gets a little bit of light on it, and then in the dark lights up really nice. It was real easy to find the target. I mean, very easy to find the target. Very easy to acquire my target each and every single time I pulled the trigger. It was dead on. The only complaint that I have about this firearm is, and it's to me, it's a very small thing. It's a very small thing here. And I'll show you this. The mag release right here. The mag release right here. It's a little stiff. It's a little stiff, and it's not... If I go back to my CZ, if I go to my XDM, even the Smith & Wesson Shield, it's very easy to hit that, punch it down real quick, and for that magazine to eject. For me, it's taking a little bit to get used to, because as you can see, this mag release, it kind of wraps around the gun. It kind of wraps around the gun, if that makes any sense at all. So it's a small qualm. Very small qualm for this firearm, okay? It is still, I think, a great firearm. I think something that I will carry just about every single day. I have a couple of different options, but I think this is my new number one as far as an easily concealable handgun. Even though the mag release I'm not a huge fan of, it's ergonomic and it kind of fits with the gun. I understand where they were going here, but again, it's a little stiff and it's a little hard to punch down if you're trying to get through quickly and eject that magazine real quickly. You basically have to, I think, train yourself. So it's going to take a little bit more time at the range for me to go through and just get into that habit of how to punch that down really quickly. So that might be something that is a little bit of a hang up for some of you. The other, odd thing maybe about this firearm, these things are really stiff. When you're trying to punch down the 10th bullet in this magazine, it gets really tight and it gets really stiff. So just something to remember. Again, not a big deal, not a big issue at all. Not something that would in any way steer you away from this firearm. Just something to know when you're going and purchasing this firearm if you're looking at it. So the big question, and as the video says, is this the perfect firearm or the perfect concealed carry, small concealed carry gun? For me, yeah, I think so. I've looked at a lot of small carry guns. This to me is the perfect small carry gun for a couple of reasons. One, it's a 9mm. Obviously, easy round to get, good round to get. Knockdown power is good as well. Number two, the firepower. When I can carry something this small, either as a pocket carry or concealed in my waistband, and I've got 12 plus 1 to use, that's a big deal. That's a game changer for Sig Sauer. I think what you're going to see in the future is a lot of other gun companies going and mimicking what Sig Sauer did with this firearm. From what I read, Sig Sauer built this first and built the gun around it. And so I think that this is really going to be revolutionary for the gun industry and for concealed carry guns in this industry, and for those small guns, pocket carry guns maybe, if you want to put them in that category. So for me, yeah, it's the perfect carry gun. I also like some other guns, but this to me, for a small gun, is the perfect small concealed carry pistol. It's up to you if you think it's perfect, because again, like I said earlier in the video, everyone has different hand sizes. Everyone, has prefers a different trigger pull. So it's up to you if you think it is the perfect gun. But I think you'll agree with me. It's pretty darn close to perfect if it isn't perfect. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.